slightly off until she returns. Hello, everybody. Eric Watson here, freelance writer, player of games, writer of words, recorder of videos, and tabletop role-playing aficionado. Welcome to our weekly live stream Dungeons and Dragons 5th Edition online role-playing adventures. I'm joined as always by my good friends, Chris playing the noir detective, human inquisitive rogue wizard Mannix.
Hello.
Heather playing the wickedly silent but deadly half-drow assassin rogue Kaless, joining us soon. Rochelle playing the popular and charismatic Triton bard of whispers Gillian.
Hello.
Raymond playing the heedlessly brave turtle battle master fighter rogue George.
Hello.
And Reese playing the undead hating animal loving hill dwarf druid of the moon Theron.
Hello.
Hello. The energy is just so high. I'm having a trouble keeping you all calmed down.
I have a question. Was music playing? Because the music usually gets me ready, but I didn't hear it.
Without the music, we're all lost.
I did have the music. I don't.
Did you guys? Did everyone else hear it?
I heard it
when he got messed
Briefly.
up for me.
No.
I don't have
Okay, well.
Sorry. You mean
Some
to
weeks I
replay the
don't
music?
hear the music. Some here because some weeks it's just quiet, and then
Yeah, it was just silence for me, and then
Oh,
you
dear.
just started doing.
Sorry,
the
can we just
intro.
go from the top again?
Can we go back to the theme song?
Damn it,
Everything's
all-
good from there.
If you could just sing the theme song for me.
There you go.
Done.
I do have more poems, I'll give you that. We stream our sessions live on YouTube every Friday evening. Catch up on previous episodes on my YouTube page, as well as read weekly session recaps at roguewatson.com. Watch my behind-the-scenes, no players allowed live series, Craft Annihilation, on Thursday mornings. If you'd like to support the channel, please check out patreon.com/roguewatson. Shout out to Platinum patrons Andrew, Richard, Joe, Will, Tiny Dancer, Nick, and Rivzung, and Gold patrons RPG Papercrafts. We do need to cut this one, just do it again. Charming Grenade, Pretty Boy Numa, Marcos Ted Vicente, Gilberto, Sean A.K., Cert2B, Adam, Dead Lizard Lounge, and Sam. Thank you all very much for your support. For our campaign, we use Roll20.net video chat. We use Discord. For streaming, I use Open Broadcaster software with Streamlabs. Previously on Tomb of Annihilation. With the way forward blocked, the party was forced to enter the web-filled access tunnels. Musharib mentioned these tunnels had been taken over by spiders, and the dwarves were unable to burn them out due to natural gas pockets. He had to plead to the players to not use any fire. They responded by tossing him into the webbed tunnels. He scrambled inside, and the players followed, quickly losing sight of him. They found several kobold zombies tangled in the webs, but during the battle, Gillian and Theron were seemingly abducted, leaving only Kaless, George, and Mannix to brave the webs. Kaless used her dancing lights to light their path, but upon reaching a narrow choke point, several large spiders descended. These spiders had long since died, however, and risen as undead due to the death curse. The party fought them off, reaching a larger chamber that housed an even larger undead spider. Several humanoid-sized cocoons hung from the ceiling. The spider shot out a sticky substance to reel in the PCs, but they were undeterred, hacking and slashing it and other spiders that came their way. In the cocoons, they found their unconscious comrades. I have many poems. Jason, fan of the show, has been very busy. What I think I'm going to do,
It's
because
just a poetry show now.
this is basically a poetry slam. Yeah, we occasionally play D&D, but
Real fast. Were these giant spiders or regular spiders?
there
There were three sizes.
There were three sizes of spiders, in fact. Yes.
Oh,
There
so
were-
it's regular spiders.
There were.
I like that quote.
Oh, you remember that? Yeah. The rare regular-sized spider.
Wait, I don't understand.
The non-giant spider. Yeah, spiders of all shapes and sizes, in fact. All dead, though.
Yeah.
So I mentioned I was going to read the character poems once per session, but since I'm now getting recap poems that are relevant to what happened before, I think I'm going to read the character poems right before we go on break. So hopefully everybody can remind me to do that. I'll do
Okay.
one per session, so I'll do one more this week and keep going from there. And then right now I'm going to read the Cobalt Lament by Jason Scott, fan of the show, which is I believe this is, I guess, technically about 2 or 3 sessions ago. This is when you guys were doing Wormheart Mine. So you should be able to see it now. Oh, sorry, this is the wrong one. Oh, no, it's the right one. I used the wrong title. It is called A Cobalt's Lament. George is the one that's going to be coming up on the break.
Although the title's pretty good for
Yep.
George.
The title is A Kobold's Lament. We poor kobolds lived in a mine that in a mountain laid, and were ruled by a dragon fine, to whom devotion we paid. We caused no one any trouble, and incited no mischief, yet our lives were reduced to rubble, and our happiness brought to grief. They were a murderous crew who came to our peaceful home, and into havoc our lives threw, leaving us in shame to roam. One was a fiend of the night, a wraith that killed with no sound. There was a dwarf that could flame ignite in a blazing sphere around. A fish woman with hellish pipes summoned a wave that struck with a crash, while others were cut down by the swipes of a turtle demon with a lash. Worst of all was the thin man, who commanded creatures dire. We shielded our eggs as we could, awaiting Tinder's cleansing fire. Alas, our god of great renown could not these interlopers fight. They cast the mighty dragon down and quelled her awful might. Now we have been cast from our home and pushed to the surface, no longer sheltered by hard stone, but exiled by a menace. Every night we curse the ones who beat us with their rod, they who decency shuns, those bastards that killed our god. It's kind of dark. Really, really clever, though. That was good, yeah.
Yeah.
Put it from the perspective of the poor kobolds.
I thought it made us sound cool in the middle there. But
Yep.
by the end, we were kind of the bad guys.
You know what? That's probably a good description of your party in general. It's kind of cool, but in the end,
We
you're
look
the bad
cool in the middle.
guys. Pretty much how all the D&D campaigns seem to go.
This just shows that we need to kill everyone we encounter so no one can say bad things about us.
We
Can't
let
leave
these
any
stories down,
survivors.
guys.
Understandable.
They say the survivors write history, so let's leave no survivors.
Right?
Right. Or
I like
winners
that
are
plan.
usually good, but just makes us look bad.
George becomes really upset about how bad we look in these poems.
Yep.
This is
I
true
suppose
of
Listen, guys, we got a real image problem.
all the
that might lead
campaigns.
to the next. That might
There's
lead
all
to
these
the next
cobalt
one you're
poems
reading.
floating around.
All right. So yeah, you have reunited with your companions. You are able to get a long rest. Gillian is able to get her dome into the remains of the spider tunnel now that you've hacked everything away, and you can fit the dome there. So you all kind of chill in there for quite a number of hours, actually, and Musharib is upset by this and wants to find his companions, but I assume you pay him no heed. This was...
Does
We'll explain. We'll do nobody any good if we're all spider bitten.
Mm-hmm.
Does Mannix need to roll his divination die?
Thank you for reminding me.
Mhm.
I sure do. And I will. Well, I have to roll new ones every time I sleep, I think. But I'd like to get rid of that 10 anyway. Never used it. All right, 2
Wow.
fails. That's useful.
Yep. And then you all rest, wake up feeling a little bit more refreshed. You exit the tunnels to the north. You found nothing at all of value in there, just a bunch of corpses and death. When you exit to the north, you see to the minecart tunnel to the left. You go down a little bit, and you can see that you've made it to the other end of the blocked path, to the main path. And then when you turn to the right, you can
the
continue.
one that we thought was intentionally blocked.
Yes. Yep, so you've made it to the other side of that, essentially. And as you turn to the right and continue down the minecart path, not long, maybe you go for a minute or so, an axe comes hurtling out of the dark, barely missing, we'll say, who's probably George. Just barely missing George, just embeds itself in the wall nearby. And a voice rings out that says, "That's close enough! We've got you surrounded! Put your weapons on the..." And you hear Musharib next to you suddenly kind of have a sharp intake of breath. And he says, kind of loudly for him, "Sithie, is that you?" And the voice pauses and you see a figure emerge from the darkness. You can tell she's a dwarf, an albino dwarf, like Musharib, with some of the similar tattoos and markings as he. But she definitely has a warrior's stance. She's got a axe with a bone handle in one hand. She also looks very grimy and malnourished. And then you see a number of other dwarves looking similarly. kind of peek around from various hidden side tunnels and dark places that you're only just now realizing. And her gaze is very intense, but her eyes shoot up in surprise when she sees Musharib. Says, Mushi, by Moradin's beard, it's you! Musharib stumbles forward and they clasp arms. They kneel their heads together until their foreheads touch. And they remain this way for several seconds before slowly parting. What do you guys react to this?
I assume this is the sister.
That's probably a good assumption.
How nourished or malnourished does Musharib look?
Yeah.
He's been with you guys, so he seems fine looking, relatively. I mean, I
Well,
assume
he's
you.
So starving.
To my imagination.
I assume you've been breaking bread with him equally, not intentionally starving him.
You give us too much credit.
The other dwarves looking bad.
Sure you give table scraps.
He says, "We saw the bodies, so many dead, but I knew you were alive." And she says, "Bloody kobolds caught us by surprise. We've been living in these tunnels, trying to take back the forge. The mine was lost because of the bloody dragon." Wait, and her eyes kind of narrow. "How the hell did you come here from the mine?" She kind of starts taking you all in.
Manic will proudly show his dragon pin that's attached to his shirt.
You're what?
My dragon pin, the big dragon medallion that I attached to my vest as a marker that I've played a dragon.
No, you just look like you're a devout follower of the dragon.
Of the dragon.
Like you're an agent. Official dragon business.
He slayed the dragon all himself.
That's right. This is my Dragon Slayer pin.
Musharib says, Sithi, I made it all the way to the city and met some wonderful friends. They are a bit strange and mostly terrifying, but they've fought ghosts, pirates, and defeated the dragon. You see several of the dwarves in the area kind of exchange glances. And she kind of straightens up at that. And finally, her axe seems to kind of, her hands seem to unclench a bit. She looks at you all and says, "My name is Sithi Vinecutter, once proud dwarves of Hrakhamar, now reduced to scavengers living in tunnels. If my brother lives, it means more of our kind has been scattered to the jungle. I wish them well, but for us, we mean to take back the mine or die trying."
If I'm being honest, you're not what I expected after hanging out with this guy for the past.
Right?
She
Somehow we got it in our heads that they were all like him.
She nods and says, "Musharib was a spirit talker. Was She kind of thinks for a moment. Like your priests, I believe. Very much a kind soul. I never expected.
Why are we talking about him in the past?
I never expected to see him again."
We killed him.
Oh, okay. I buy it.
Well, guess I'm not too worried about you getting the worst end of a deal with other dwarves down the other end of the hall.
All right, yeah.
She nods and says, "Yes, we knew about that. We could do nothing against the fury of the dragon. The kobolds, though, was a new problem. We thought we could use these tunnels as our base of operations, but the kobolds came at us, kept pushing us back. We kept losing ground."
Is that why you collapsed the tunnel back there?
She nods. Says, we had to keep fleeing. We couldn't fight them anymore. She sighs, "We're in bad shape." And you notice that most of them, most of the dwarves, you count maybe a dozen in this area, look visibly exhausted. Some of them are injured, missing limbs, scars, really bad burns on their bodies. This looks like less like a fighting force and more like a triage unit. Like, just, it's real bad.
Right. Is this all that's left of you guys?
Just as we have a small camp, if you could call it that. They're the ones that are too sick and too grievously injured to even move.
Wait, these ones here are, or the ones about the other camp?
No, the ones back at the camp. The ones she's got with her are like the ones that are
Oh.
like the strong ones, and you're going like,
Oh,
oh, these
Right.
guys look bad.
yeah.
It's basically saying like, these are the strong ones I've got.
Yeah, there aren't any better ones than these.
Yeah.
Is that what you're telling me?
That's basically what she's telling you. Yeah.
Well, I suppose we could help with whatever healing spells and potions we have. Don't have to worry about the dragon anymore. Or the kobolds, I think. There's a room back there that probably has some dead things inside of it.
It's like the spider tunnels. You made it through.
Well, I'm still alive, yes. Don't care to talk about that.
Yeah, we could certainly help out your force here for sure. Especially if they could help us figure out what's going on in here and direct us, perhaps.
At this point, she pointedly asks you like who you are and why you're doing this. She
She's
seems
forgotten why we do anything.
she she seems very defensive and
Yeah.
you know, alert and wary, but having Musharib with you has completely disarmed her, and now she's just more curious than anything else.
Which
But-
is fair enough. The other dwarf down the tunnels.
Yeah, came down here to clear off the tunnel to help my friend. Musharib was tagging along with us. Figured we should help him too, since he wanted something else other than money. Tugs on the heartstrings.
She looks at you and says, yes, I can understand that from a fellow dwarf, but we don't have much dealings with the others.
Yeah, the other three are fine. That guy over there you gotta watch out for.
When you say that, she looks at every single one of the other people, not even realizing who you're talking about.
Oh yes, right. The human.
She only vaguely seems to understand.
Manix looks around and goes, "Wait, am I the only human? That can't be right."
Yep, that guy.
That's technically more human than we had in our last campaign.
Yeah.
Technically, I'm part human.
Yeah, we got one
That's
and a
true.
half humans.
1.5 humans. Next on NBC. She asked that if you all helped the other dwarves, and you all clearly helped bring Musharib here, would you help them retake the forge?
Nope, all done. Let's go.
Our work here is through.
Well,
This is exactly how far we intended to take this.
in fact, there's our line. Yeah, I wouldn't mind helping out fellow dwarves.
With
Don't
the other
wanna-
dwarf,
Don't want to see this guy dying after all this time.
right. We kept him alive a long time.
Yeah.
with the other dwarf, we did have an agreement regarding real estate versus property found on that real estate. I.e., we acquire the real estate for your use, but any sundries, objects we find upon that real estate, we are free to cart off, as it were.
It takes her.
I assume a similar agreement would be in order.
It takes her a moment
Wait,
to kind
is this
of.
an actual deal, or is this something you're making up right now?
No, that was the deal we had with
Okay.
what's his name?
You.
Yeah, we took all that shit. We didn't get anything.
It takes her a moment to realize kind of what you're asking, and her eyes kind of narrow a bit. And she's like, "You mean to loot our home?"
That's a real rough way of putting it.
I thought that deal was just for the other side.
Well, sure. I'm just saying, we're helping you as a symbol of gratitude.
We're just helping you declutter.
That's right.
Yeah.
Who knows what those creatures have cluttered up in your space? We'll leave it nice and clean
Jeez.
for you.
I don't know if you can see, but these people are clearly need a lot of help. And we're sort of robbing them after they've been on the ground and kicked.
She turns to Musharib and says, "These are mercenaries you hired?"
Hold on now.
He starts looking a little uncomfortable.
Celeste would
Like,
smile.
what's? Yeah. So what if we are? You got a better idea to help get your caves back?
If.
She looks defensive and angry for a moment, and then it kind of passes, and she kind of glances around at her other dwarves, and she kind of her eyes look down, and she just kind of grunts and says, "No, we don't."
Right. Listen, to my friend's point, we won't take your wealth. We won't take anything you need to, keep yourself afloat after this is all over.
We'll save the scraps for you. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Like the
We'll
mafia.
leave a couple gold pieces on
But,
the floor.
we happen to find, the random magic item or something of that nature. I assume you'd be willing to trade that in return for
We'll
our
only take
favors.
the really rare and precious things, is what
That's
my
right.
is trying to convey.
We're going to find the one most precious thing in this place.
Everything else is just too far beneath us to bother dealing with.
Exactly what she said.
She says, "I don't know what's left in there, but it is a forge. We might be able to make you something as befits."
If you don't know what's left in there, you won't miss it, right?
She says, "But the treasury, that is ours." And at this point, Musharib speaks up and he says, "Have the treasury still stands?" And she says, "We believe that it does. They have been taking some of us alive, and I think trying to figure out a way to get in. We have been trying for rescue operations, but it's been unsuccessful."
What's in this treasury?
She glares and says, "It is."
Food.
I'm not. Listen, if we make a deal that doesn't involve the treasury, it doesn't involve the treasury. I'm just curious.
She says, "Sacred artifacts, as well as the refined adamantine that we make." You all know that adamantine is a very precious metal in this universe that makes very, very nice weapons and armor.
Max just grumble under his breath. Sure sounds like magic items to me.
Just rows upon rows of frog statues.
That's right. So many frog statues. listen.
George unwraps a ration and starts eating it.
The dwarves nearest you get big eyes and start licking their lips.
I'm willing to help with the understanding that you'll be as generous as you feel is necessary at the end of this.
She says, if you can... We have nothing now. If we can clear the forge and retake our home, then you are welcome to whatever we can give. A couple of the dwarves glance at her kind of furtively and questioningly, and she just kind of shoos them away, basically, and just stands firm with her discussion.
Sweet. We can give adamantine weapons. Let's go.
Yeah, we'll make it something. All right. So what exactly, did they know what we need to do exactly? Or what the situation is inside?
You can ask them.
I will ask them. What's the situation in there? What's the setup? What do we expect in terms of enemies?
Yeah. And she kind of motions you guys to come over to the little campground so you can speak easier. And it's a mess. It looks like they're just barely hanging on for dear life at this point. She says, the fire newts invaded almost a year ago after a particularly nasty volcanic eruption forced us to abandon the forge. The bastards are drawn by the heat. By the time it was deemed safe for us to re-enter, they were already there. We fought as hard as we could for our home. They were organized, and we lost many. Only some of us are fighters. Our kind rarely goes to the surface, but many fled out into the jungle. I led others into the tunnels. And she says that Hrakhamar is a marvel of dwarven ingenuity. It has been our home and our livelihood for generations, built right inside of a volcano. This mine track will take you the rest of the way, just a few more miles. You'll know you're close when the track splits off to the north and the east. And, of course, you will feel the heat. Both paths will eventually lead to the smelter. We know the fire newts are using it, presumably to make their own weapons and armor. They're not the smartest creatures, but they are a lot of them, and they know how to fight. They
know how to make weapons?
Yes. They are
Alright.
militaristic, all of them fighters. We've learned as much as we can. They worship some great prince of elemental fire. Some of them have been given gifts of fiery spells. We have felt their
I
burn.
hear that guy died.
Yeah.
I swear we heard that somewhere.
Can't really kill them. They're still out there. He just banished them.
Mm.
But yes, that is a callback to the climax to Prince of the Apocalypse.
Giant fire tornado that shut back in his dimension or whatever.
That's right. Says they literally swim and breed in lava and magma and fire, and ride these large beaked lizard creatures that also breathe fire.
Right. Fire plus fire.
They don't venture too far from the forge, though. I don't think they have our dark vision, and they prefer to stay near the heat.
Alright.
They know we're here, so they'll be watching. I would be very careful with using light. We've been able to get close, but we don't have to use light to see.
Right. Some of us do.
Only the humans do.
Only the humans. Who does have dark vision? It's just Theron and Kaless, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Says that's all we know. If they do keep any survivors, if you would please save them.
You think they might have taken him to this treasury of yours?
I don't know where they take them, but I know they've taken some of ours alive.
Hmm.
I don't know if they're still alive or dead, or what they do with them.
All right. Do what we can. Anything else that might give us an edge? You got any anti-fire cream in there? That might be useful.
I would recommend not falling into the lava.
Yeah.
Good tip.
Thanks.
Watch your step.
None of you breathe lava, do you?
No.
That would be very helpful.
If you do, don't breathe on your friends.
That's right. Okay.
Alright, well, help you get your own back. And I'll tend to the ones I can help, so they don't die before we get back.
Did you want to cast healing spells on them?
Yes.
Okay.
How many are there? How many really need it?
Only the ones that really. These are like basic triage.
Roll a 1d6.
I've
Roll a 1d6.
got 4 level 1s.
See who is in the most grievous pain. There are 6 dwarves who are in really, really bad shape that you can see.
Excellent.
Severe burns. You're not
Yeah.
gonna make it through the night.
Alright.
Bad shape. Doctor's in the house. Look at this.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I should really cast this. Said 6?
That's what you rolled.
Man.
Aaron, you can have a point of inspiration for kneeling down to heal all these poor, sick, injured dwarves.
Thank you. Hey, when's our next long rest?
You guys just long rested.
Alright, now we have a dwarven army with us.
These men are all in fighting shape now, right? Let's go.
Musharib also seems like he would like to remain with his people as well.
Fine. We don't have to lock you in a shed again, man. I feel like you're not getting the message here.
Don't tell it. Don't say that out loud.
Okay.
So you're not on shit duty.
It feels like he keeps making up excuses for something that we don't want him to do.
Poor Musharib.
Yeah, if there are any capable dwarves who want to accompany us, we wouldn't turn down the help.
Some of them look like they're willing to join. Yeah, especially with your healing, Theron. Two of the warriors. She nods and says, "These are the healthiest ones we've got. They can help you. They'll follow directions. They're good loyalists.
Which brings me to my idea to how to use them. If we use them as seeing eye dogs, then we don't have to have any of the light sources. Just we give one of them to each person who doesn't have dark vision.
We're giving a dwarf to everyone? Is that, is that what you said?
Look, Manix is a monster. I don't know.
Each person gets one dwarf.
I have.
Look, Gillian, you got a flying monkey, so I get a dwarf.
I know. Hey, that flying monkey is my brother.
It sure is. That's a thing now.
Yep.
Flying monkey possessed by the soul of your brother. Alright, so yeah, 2 of them are willing to accompany you all.
While he was doing that, can I be using, assuming it took him quite a while to save all those dwarves, using my poisoner's kit to make a poison?
Sure.
So she could just like walk behind me, undoing all 4.
Good work, parents.
I'm just gonna put a little drop of mercury in all of them.
They feel better, but they won't survive the night.
The party giveth, and the party taketh away.
So I want to make like a contact poison, not for the dwarf, but just something to hold on to. Because I have a poisoner's kit, and I might as well use it. Actually, I have 2, but.
Okay, how does this work? Do you have...
Do
you know what you want to make?
Yes, but the one I wanted to make isn't gonna work, so I'm going with the contact poison. I wanted to make the drow poison, but I guess it could. It can only be made by drow. It has a really low con DC saves, so
You have a poisoner's kit, you said?
yes. I actually have 2 of them.
1 for each hand.
Yep. If it's too much right now, I can do it at a different time.
I'm just trying to find where the poisons are.
The actual text of the poisoner's kit is very vague on how that actually happens.
Yeah, I know, that's what I was just trying to look at. There's a section in Xanathar's, but it is equally vague. Poison rules.
We can talk about it later. It's fine.
Okay, I mean, I like the idea, I just don't know, you caught me
I
off
wanna
guard with
use
that
it
one.
eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the poisoner's kit just has a bunch of little frogs in there. She just wipes her dagger across.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Dungeon Master's Guide has poisons.
That's what that noise was at night.
For weeks now. She's got a box of frogs in her backpack.
Sorry, what was the poison do?
So I was going to make a drow poison. So a creature subjected to this poison must succeed on a DC 13 con saving throw or be poisoned for 1 hour. If the saving throw fails by 5 or more, the creature is also unconscious while poisoned in this way.
I'll allow it.
Okay, I want to involve a skill check because it's got a cost to it. And
Yeah, the poisoner's kit comes with ingredients.
so I'm thinking that maybe like how you roll determines how much it costs in ingredients to use. Does that make sense? It's like how effectively you make the poison.
Yeah. Because the other one I wanted to make was Assassin's Blood, by the way.
Yeah, I see it's on 257 of the Dungeon Master's Guide. Actually lists all these now that I'm looking at them. Does the poisoner's kit
But I
have
can do it
a...
in... Yeah, I can click on it because I'm proficient in using it.
Okay.
Did I click the right one? I did.
Yeah.
It's supposed to add my proficiency bonus to it as well too.
Well, you rolled a +8. That should be
Yeah, that should be it.
it.
3 plus my dex is just 5, so yeah.
Okay. With a DC 15, I will give you 25% off the cost. If you want to pay it in gold, just for the ingredients.
Yeah. I'll pay my 150. Get my drow poison.
Yeah, that sounds cool. While Theron puts on scrubs and heals the dwarves in the area, she's over there just brewing up a deadly
Ways to
poison.
kill others.
Yep.
I've cast darkness in my little sphere and nobody can see what I'm doing.
Alright, with that, she thanks Theron you profusely for helping heal the dwarves and wishes you all very good luck with going forward. And she kind of wants to come with, but she also knows that she needs to stay back and help her people. And kind of lead them.
That's fine. In case the fire newts attack them or something.
Yeah.
I hate to clear out this entire place and then come back to a slaughtered band of
Yeah.
dwarves.
2 fire newts made it through and killed everybody. So you all do travel for several miles as the minecart track kind of narrows very uncomfortably in some places, sometimes forcing you all into single file along this minecart track path.
So,
Yep.
Before we get too far into the darkness and it becomes an issue,
The darkness.
I wasn't joking earlier. We should have one
Never
of the
joke.
two. There's 2 dwarves.
You have 2
is
dwarves
that
with you.
right? Okay. We should have the 2 dwarves each accompanying one of
I'll
us that
take a
does
dwarf.
not have. Yeah, Gillian gets a dwarf. she picks through a dwarf first. I take that one.
Are you tying ropes around your waist
Maybe.
so you don't get separated?
Yeah, so you don't get
God damn it.
separated. Now they really are seeing eye dogs.
Oh no,
They're
you
delicious.
tied around their neck.
Wait, are we making slaves?
I think so. I think you're trying to.
That wasn't where I.
Are you sure?
Maybe they just hold hands. I don't know. Well, we can do ropes, just waist to waist. Like
They just hold the end of the rope, so
There you
basically
go.
y'all are the dog, and yeah.
There you go.
They just let
And
go.
I would
You
like.
don't
So we
let
got
go.
2 of them. We got 3 of us. I would like. I don't know if I can do this or not because the way it's phrased, but I would like to use my familiar. I have my owl familiar, who has dark vision. I can. Let me actually roll the spell. I can make myself see through his eyes. You can see through your familiar here. Gain the benefit of any special senses. During this time, you are deaf and blind with regard to your own senses. So, conceivably, if this owl was just sitting on my shoulder, I could be walking around as a person, deaf and blind, because I'm seeing out of the eyes of the owl on my shoulder. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. You might
I would like to do
occasionally
that.
trip and fall on your ass, depending on how much you're paying attention. But
Hopefully that owl is looking straight ahead. It may not be the most, dexterous way of traveling, because it would be like walking through like somebody else's lenses, but at least I have dark vision.
yeah, it says you do it as an action, but it doesn't say anything about like just not being able to constantly do it out of combat. So,
Right.
all right, so you got your owl perched on your shoulder to essentially give you dark vision.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you all travel for several miles, and the heat is gradual at first, but grows in intensity, and all of you are dripping in sweat by the time you reach a fork in the tracks, leading to two separate tracks, as they described. One curves around towards the east into darkness, and through the north, you can see the source of the heat, a bubbling river of magma. You also hear the sounds of rhythmic hammering echoing off the cave walls. The northern track extends onto a bridge, the minecart track, about 10 feet above the river of fire. Beyond the bridge, you can make out a large creature that looks like a cross between a dinosaur and a bird, with a horse-like saddle and bridle. Mounted atop is a lizard humanoid with fire-red skin, gripping a glowing morning star. Both creatures are watching the bridge intently, though haven't noticed any of you yet. Before the track extends over the bridge, you can make out a pair of side caves to the west. The caves are blocked by iron gates that are glowing red, and you can hear whimpering sounds coming from inside.
All right.
So some of you might see darkness. Let's see, this guy... I need to put the owl having light. Owl's got 120 dark vision?
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
I almost can see the door.
So that is a situation. Some of you cannot really see at all. But those of you with dark vision can see.
I want to ride the hairless chicken.
Well, we got a track going forward. A track veering off to the right.
And a featherless chicken.
Well, if our intention is to attempt to any kind of sneaking up on these things, I would say we have to go to the right first. This track leads directly into that guy up there. Does it look like that guy is watching the bridge?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right
you
it
see.
is.
Yeah, unless we got a way of shutting that guy down, I think that this bridge is alarm central.
All of your alarms are 50% off.
That's right.
Yeah, and
I'll
these
motion for the other dwarves to follow us since they have the ropes tied to Gillian and
That's right.
they were not very
George.
cool with this rope plan, by the way. They don't seem to want to. They
they're
were
just
I don't
holding
blame
the
them.
edge of it.
nah. They
They're
were
not-
We're not
they have
they're
not.
guiding our
Holding
team
the
along.
end, literally holding the end of a rope. George has one end. The guy has the other end. He just tug. Come on.
They are not holding on to any ropes. They seem they're disdainful of this.
Well, then George and Killy could put their hands on their shoulder, whatever connection device they're comfortable with.
Yeah. So yeah, you see tunnels. The tunnel going to the east, and then there are iron bars in these caves to your west. Theron, you see light streaming to the north as you continue along these dark caves along the minecart track.
Alright, I peek around the corner.
Okay.
See if anyone's, I don't know, looking down that corridor.
Yep. This is what you see for a second.
Oh.
And then you immediately pull back. You see a similar situation, a mounted fire-red lizard creature atop a beaked dinosaur, overlooking what looks like kind of a balcony rampart situation above this river lava. He looks like he's also kind of standing guard out there.
Okay.
Did not-
Did it look like he's looking this direction?
You couldn't tell when you were just literally turned the corner, saw, and then like ducked back. You could see him kind of doing a general, like, sweeping motion.
Is his back to us or is his face to us?
I think his side is to us.
Yeah,
So we're looking back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't look like they're on patrol. They're just sitting there.
Stationary
Right.
guards.
Right, yeah, that's what you could tell.
Okay.
Like he was just standing there, kind of doing a sweeping motion.
Maybe you can stealth across and tell us when the coast is clear to, like, hustle across the gap.
Okay. I can do that.
Yeah, Mannix has found himself trapped in a wall. Pretty good chance. I don't know how that happened. Thank you.
That was the end of Mannix.
Where did this wall come from?
As y'all are discussing this, the dwarves behind you, one of them whispers, probably to Georgia Gillian, since they're being guided, that whimpering sound that you heard. He says, "It sounds like one of ours."
Where did we hear that from? Like, what direction?
I mentioned the side caves to the west that had these red, glowing iron bars in front of them on the way up to the north bridge.
All right. Mannix will lean himself against a wall and send the owl out to do a little bit of recon.
Okay, Kalis, were you crossing the gap right here?
As long as the 17 was good enough to cross it, yeah.
Let's find out. Oops, caps lock on. Ha! Yes, 17. You managed to time it right when they're like completely not facing that direction.
Okay.
And you swiftly make it across the gap.
So I want to like continue to stealth and then just to like watch them, signal for everyone to come across one at a time.
Okay. Mannix, meanwhile, through the eyes of the owl, you can see through the bars a small huddled figure, bound, gagged, and blindfolded. It does look like an albino dwarf, though they're covered in scars and burns.
Can Mr. Owl fit through these cage bars?
Does not look like it.
Ooh, tight bars, huh? How does it look like these are locked?
You just see kind of a normal door, like kind of built into the bars. But I don't know if you can feel this with the owl, but I assume maybe you get close. You feel heat radiating off of them. And they look like they're glowing red hot.
Okay. That's problematic.
When your owl gets close to even think about trying to squeeze through it, immediately, like, instinctively backs up.
Pulls back. All right. Back up, owl. Let's see. How close can I get? Can I get right here? Can I attempt to use my mage hand to see if my mage hand can manipulate this door without getting opened?
Yeah, when you summon the mage hand and try to open it, it just doesn't seem like it's got enough strength to it.
Okay. Someone's going to have to force the door down and take some heat while they're doing it. I'll tell the dwarves like, we'll get your friends, but not at the moment. Any rescue attempts right now would probably trigger this whole place on us.
They grunt in response.
Good talk.
So as I see them coming back up the hallway, I'm gonna just motion them across one at a time, while still stealthing in my shadow. Keep an eye on when they should cross.
Okay.
So do I have to roll like individual stealth checks for each of them?
You give me a perception check so that you can get the timing down.
Oh, this isn't gonna go well, you guys. That might have gone better than I thought.
Nice.
That's pretty good.
All right. Everyone crossing this gap now has advantage on their stealth check.
Ooh.
I assume we're motioning the dwarves to lead our. Lead
Yeah,
our
that situation looks a little trickier though because, whoops. They're being led like blindly by the dwarves.
Yeah.
Is there like a rock outcropping or something like that look kind of highish above the lava that I could shoot an arrow at and distract them from when the doors go by? George and Gillian? Like make rocks come down from the ceiling type of a thing?
Yeah, you think you...
Draw their attention away. Yeah.
Sure, yeah. Good.
I'm also gonna cast when everyone's in range. Forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
That'll help.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll help too.
Alright,
Oh,
there's
that
all
might
my
get a little
first
crossing.
and second level spells.
More spell casting than has been done this entire campaign.
Yeah.
All right.
Alright, so
Uh-huh.
Theron and Mannix, you guys have advantage. The fact that the others are being led by the dwarves, I would say that negates the advantage, but everybody does get the plus 10 from Pass Without Trace. On stealth checks.
First, Theron, go for it.
Holy.
Plus 10.
Oh, thank God for your pass without trace. That's...
I hope so.
Yeah, that's good use of Pass Without Trace.
Oh my. Holy
Lets
crap.
out a huge fart.
It's the worst time to have gas.
It's the cave settling.
Shouldn't have had all those cave mushrooms. Yeah, you feel like without your spell it would have been a bad situation.
Well, at least we get to pretend to
What
stealth at
the
least for a few
fuck?
more minutes.
Wow.
Gilles is just trying to like motion you over and everybody's just tripping and making noise, kicking up rocks.
Yeah.
At that point, I'm just going straight into the shadow. I'm like, nope, no.
Alright. Now since we have to lead the others, this is all with advantage too you guys had with the plus 10.
If I use my enhanced ability to give myself advantage on dexterity checks, does that count for a stealth check?
Sure.
Because it's like okay. So then I'm gonna
Cast those spells.
Apparently, nothing makes people cast spells than like stationary guards.
So I'll cast enhance ability. So this spell does not say that it. I think it doesn't. Oh wait. It does require sight. I think that's what that little S means.
I presume
right?
you could see yourself.
I can cast it on myself, but like.
Oh
Probably
no, the
not on
component,
George.
the S in components is somatic. That means you have to use your hands.
Oh, then is V vision? What do these letters mean?
Verbal.
If
What
there's
is
a
verbal?
Verbal.
V is
M.
verbal, means you have to say something for the spell. S is
Uh-huh.
somatic, means you have to use your hands. And M is materials, but we don't give a
So I don't
Yeah, we
actually
can't
have
have
to see anything.
Right. Unless it says something within your line of sight.
Yeah.
I
A
don't
lot of
think
spells
so.
say that.
It just says you touch a creature, and then I can do a
Yeah.
second creature for another spell slot. So if George is next to me, I can just also like reach out, and,
George, reach out to me.
or I'll just touch a dwarf and cast whatever I hit.
Somebody's getting touched either way. Killian is groping in the darkness back there.
So that's what I'm going to try to do. So it's enhance ability. That gives the targets, it's a cat's grace, advantage on dexterity checks. And you don't take damage from falling 20 feet or less. If you're
No.
falling into lava, it probably will still be
Only one way to find out.
That lava looks less than 20 feet down.
But at least you won't
Someone
take
who is-
falling damage.
Horribly burned and scarred at the very end of our campaign. Don't fall into the lava.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
we do have someone who's fallen.
I remember.
I have very little hair left in my head.
Okay. And then we're doing a stealth check with advantage then.
With advantage, and you still have the +10 from Pass Without Trace, I believe, too.
We're making
We
damn
all needed
sure.
it.
Yeah,
my
we all
God.
need it.
Man, you guys are really kind of bad at stealth.
Wow.
Celeste is realizing why she was sent alone to go to assassin mission.
That's right.
Not leading this freaking herd of...
Like, this is like a comedy routine where this guard, every time he turns around, a new person like falls into the opening and then picks up and dusts
Rambles out
himself
of the
off,
way.
walks through.
Yep. Pass Without Trace has never gotten so much mileage before. Alright, we're going to do the dwarf that was with her. What kind of stealth do they have?
Does he get advantage? Is he the one who got touched?
I
Do you wanna roll-
I
do you wanna roll
tried to
random
touch
numbers?
George, but I'm not
George.
sure what happened.
Let's see. Yeah, we'll say you touched George. George probably needs it more.
I can't see anything. I don't even know what I'm rolling.
You're rolling to like keep up with the dwarf you're holding on to.
Alright, Pass Without Trace. Got that dwarf along. And Gillian has made it. So now George,
No
give
one is
me...
above a 10.
No,
Yeah,
it's been
somebody,
insane.
please.
Yep.
What do I need? A stealth roll?
A stealth roll, please. You have
With
advantage. Yep. There we
That'll do
go.
it.
Wow,
George makes it
alright.
across. No problem. And now George's dwarf.
It's like melts into the ground and just reappears next to us.
That's right. What are we doing? I can't see anything.
Alright, you've all made it past, although it was a little dicey for some.
Good thing I had advantage.
That's right.
My goodness.
All right, I'm not going first now.
Alright. Alright, more light.
There's an actual light source up here.
Yeah, some of you might be able to see some light from where you are.
Alright. I don't see any guards.
Yeah, similar situation. The cave opens up to your north with another rampart up in front, but you don't see a guard on this one. As you cross, you see one kind of in the distance, but you think you can kind of run across at least to there. Yeah. And Theron, to your... so you see three things.
Oh my goodness. Yep.
That's always a good sign.
To your northeast, you see another minecart path leading north, and this one also has a similar red lizard mounted atop a beaked dinosaur looking out over it. To the south, you see stairs and a faintest bit of light streaming down, like stairs built into the cave. And then to the east, you see smoke-filled tunnels that you can barely see into at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does anyone have a potion of smoke breathing? Well, we can't go north. It's either the tunnels or the stairs. Smoke or
One
light?
of the dwarf warriors, albino dwarfs with you, just nods at the stairs and says, "Leads to surface."
Oh. There's a surface entrance to this place? I thought we came in the only way in.
Oh, we're up to code.
Is there a disabled entrance?
There's a front and a back. You all came in
ramp?
the back entrance. That's the front.
Wow. All right. How loud do we think gust of wind is? I mean, that seems like a pretty solid way to go into the smoke.
I mean, someone could have left the door to the outside open, and it's a windy day. And...
just a draft. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Who has gust? Is that you, Gillian? Do you have?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No, we've used it before. Yeah, that's the only idea I got.
I'm gonna try it.
Blow some smoke away, and head down those tunnels.
I have gust of wind, and I also have wind wall. Which one sounds quieter?
I would guess gust of wind would be more appropriate to what we're actually trying to do, but
Wind wall does sound quieter.
it does actually sound quieter. Does the description of either one of those say anything about loud noise? Because a lot of spells say loud noise in a radius.
No. I don't
Okay.
think so.
One of them is a literal wind tunnel, right?
Like, that's what gust of wind is. Like, it's like a strong wind. It does specifically say strong wind.
Yeah.
That's like in a line. And then
We've
wind wall is
been
what it
in
sounds
contact
like.
with the spell before, so you just tell us, DM, how loud was the spell when we heard it last?
It's probably pretty loud.
Okay.
It's probably like equivalent to like being in a storm without the thunder and lightning, but still have that wind whipping sound. It doesn't seem very windy down here, for what it's worth.
Somebody used to have a silent spell. That's not right now.
Combine a bunch of spells together. Yeah.
That's right. String them together, combo. Well, do we even? I mean, I don't want to send my owl in. He's only got 1 hit point. Ooh, I know.
Send a dwarf.
Send.
That's the entire point.
I'm gonna send a frog. I'm gonna send a frog into the smoke.
Does your frog have night vision?
Although the frog's got no way of communicating back if the smoke is really bad for you or not.
I mean, there's only one communication method it has. It comes back or it doesn't.
Oh, that frog is dead.
The only communication you get is the non-verbal flicking you off.
That's right. I'm afraid of smoke, but
Oh, I didn't know that.
you didn't know that? It's one of my top 10 fears.
Quick, we need a poem about Mannix's top 10 fears.
He hates barbecues.
That's right. I mean, does somebody want to step into the smoke and test the effects of it?
Oh, I'll do it.
Yeah, I can do it.
Still need to stealth across here.
Here, no. If you start going up the bridge, then we'll talk.
Roll a third 3.
I'm I'm a little worried about all these stealth checks. I'm gonna be honest.
All right, I'm in the smoke. I think.
Okay.
Is it
You.
more of maple or hickory?
It's very, very heavy, acrid smoke. As you move in,
That.
you immediately, even your dark vision, barely, you can see hardly in front of you. Almost like, well, you weren't there for the webs, but very difficult. You have to put your hands out, essentially, to even get your bearings. You walk in for a second, and you can kind of tell that the cave system seems to go both towards the south and the east, but the smoke is so full and just filling your lungs. Give me a con saving throw, please.
Oh, Aaron's dead. That smoke was a bad idea, guys.
All right, you're okay for now. You managed to, like, equivalent of hold your breath or something. You think you hear some voices, however, almost in a like a child laughing.
There are children down there. Let's go.
Children.
They need saving.
It sounds like yeah, like giggling, playful.
Okay. I relay this information to Kless, I guess. No one else is around.
Glass, are you going in the smokes too?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Same thing. Give me a con saving throw.
In it.
Nice. You guys are breathing that smoke.
Smoke does not bother us.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to continue exploring, or do you want to try to find your way back out?
I guess continue exploring.
Yeah.
Good choice. Give me another con saving throw.
Yes,
Oh shit.
Ooh.
I found an extra lung inside my body. The last posture only went up.
That's right.
Unless your eyes start stinging as you double over in pain, and you actually suffer a level of exhaustion.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's fine.
Theron, you see her do that. As that happens, just out of the corner of your eye, you see what look like almost like the smoke coalescing around, and then sharp claws seem to come out and attempt to attack Kales, who's doubled over.
Oh no.
Well, this is about to go swimmingly. Damn it, a tie. Oh, whatever.
And then a second one.
Damn it.
Wow.
I'm gonna candy dodge that one.
As you're on the floor coughing and hacking.
Yeah.
Just slump just right.
That's right.
Since she's kind of still suffering the effects, Theron, I'll give you a chance to do a perception check, see if you can see what the hell just happened. With disadvantage because of the smoke. Naturally.
Oh, of course.
Wow. I did a
Aaron's living in smoke.
I just did a hidden roll and I rolled pretty high, but not that high. That's impressive. So you just make out small, pointy
My
imp.
eyes just start glowing.
Small, pointy imp-like creatures that seem like they have the smoke kind of cascading off of them or even from them, and they were both kind of dancing around gleefully, cackling and laughing, and they were just clawing at Kales right now. Since you see them, I can put you into initiative.
Yes. Time to blow some methods.
Would you like to rephrase that?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
We're gonna go with that.
No, I like the way it sounds.
I like that.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Why?
No reason. You go. You do your thing.
God damn it.
Glass is really like this smoke is bringing out the best in Theron and the worst in Glass.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I need to do it. Sorry. I rolled a 10.
Okay.
Should the rest of us even roll initiative? We don't really know what's going on.
I do not know what's going on. If you want, you guys can handle something, but it's weird because turn-based combat starts. You probably just barely start hearing like some yelps and cries. But yeah, we can go ahead and put you guys in initiative order just so you guys can respond. Although for the purpose of this, so we already had the surprise round. I'm probably just going to do a round of Theron, Kaless, and the Mephits, and then I'll include everybody else. That'll make it so that everybody
Okay.
in the smoke is reacting before you guys have a chance to know what's going on.
Yeah.
So does the surprise round count as a turn in combat?
Technically.
Damn it.
All right, so this we're gonna do Theron, Kaless, and then the Meth. God, you rolled a 1 on your initiative, didn't you? You still beat my fucking Mephits.
Yes, I did.
Oh my goodness.
Suck it.
All right, so Theron, you have the chance. You spotted them, so it's only appropriate. The highest initiative
All
is
right.
a 10. Oh no, sorry,
I
Gillian
rolled-
was a 17.
Yes.
I let's fix my thing.
Then I'll bop him on the head.
Opt that method.
Yeah, you will.
Nice.
Pretty good bop.
That was a good bop. Mighty bop. All right, it reels back in pain. It kind of squeals. You can tell it did not expect a retaliation. Was that it?
Yes.
I mean, it was great.
Hey, we all can't be George, okay?
Yeah,
Get on the fourth
17
attempt on our
attacks.
All I can do is transform into other animals, okay?
That's right.
When I can't do that, I can't do much.
Alright. So, the one he bopped, does it look like it's hurting pretty good?
Yes.
Or...
Yeah, it looks like he bopped it pretty good.
Alright, well, screw it. Just stab that one. Go, Bob, go! I am not rolling well, you guys.
14 will hit, though.
Jesus! 17 damage.
All right, you managed to slice through that little creature's head, pull it back, and it just explodes into a puff of smoke, which you can
Cough
barely
a little
tell
bit.
because it's smoke everywhere.
Yeah, I'll cough a little bit. Stab the other one.
13 will hit.
We're just giving it its 2 hit points back that it took from me. Bastard.
Yeah. As you do that, this one screams out in a strange language you don't understand. Unless any of you can speak Ignan.
What?
Fresh out.
Ignan?
Yeah. Ignan.
What?
The language of fire creatures, I guess?
Oh, okay. No. Okay.
No.
No.
Alright. So normal round, we're going to start with Gillian. You saw your companions disappear into the smoke tunnels.
Okay. Well, that seems dangerous, but I will try to go in there. It's just a big black thing in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
Around this way?
You see Killian just
No.
wander up to the
Not
bridge.
that
Am I going the wrong way?
Wanders off.
way. Just stop. You'll be fine.
Were they down this way? She just wanders off a random tunnel.
Killian gets
Never see her.
arrested immediately.
Wait, this isn't my home. I'm sorry. It was through here, but it's just a wall of smoke.
That's where I was going, and Reese told me I was going the wrong way. So I can go through here, right? This is the opening. There's like a little crack of light. I can't see much.
Yeah.
I guess I could cast light on myself, but
I got moved into the smoke caverns.
Mhm.
And honestly, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
Theron calls out as Gillian attempts to reach
Don't
his
come in here. Don't come in here.
Just stay there. Don't get arrested.
I'm not going in there now. Okay. Okay. So what am I doing? Just wait out here for you guys?
Call out. Are you guys
All right, you guys okay?
really loudly.
It
You want-
echoes up.
You want a gust of wind?
Yeah, is it gust of wind time?
I'm good.
Just ready to healing spell.
Well, I guess I'm just hanging out here then. I don't really have anything in particular to ready. I'm just when I come back out, I'll heal him.
Ready your positive attitude.
Okay. I'm just hanging out here then.
Mr. Theron.
Alright. Give him bopping for a first time all over again.
Damn,
That's another good bop.
The first time.
not as strong of a pop.
No.
Almost more of a bonk.
Sorry, I skipped a bunch, didn't I? George.
George said, I can't see anything. I think I'm going to walk into that light over there.
There's a really bright orange liquidy light over there. I'm gonna walk in.
Like a moth to the flame.
So I'm not in smoke. Is that correct?
That is correct. You're in the tunnels outside of the smoke.
George says, I don't like not being able to see anything. I'm going to shake some of my nuts here.
I mean, whatever you gotta do to feel comfortable, man. I don't think there was any enemies directly around you, so I think
George shakes his wicked nuts.
Alright.
What the hell are you guys? What is this?
we're. George
Enemies right in front of me. George
No.
approaches.
Wait, those are
George,
the dwarves that have been leading you for the last 20 minutes.
George says, what the hell? I didn't realize they were that ugly.
Clarity.
You look undead.
They do look pretty bad.
They're not saying anything. They must be undead. George brandishes his swords.
We've been
Say something, dwarves.
we've
They'll
been
kill another
helping
one.
you around.
Oh my god, it talks. Alright. Which way do I go?
Say, watch the light. Fire newts will see it.
Yeah, but I can't see anything otherwise.
Can you cup your nuts so that you're only?
I think I can cut my nuts.
As an action.
As an action, I can cut my nuts.
Yeah, as that action, I'd like to let me look at my item list real quick here. Can I like do a half shake of my nuts?
It seems like an all or nothing with the Wookiee nuts, I'm afraid.
Okay. I have some travelers. I have some
Just
fabric.
like in real life.
That's right.
There's no half measures here.
George, as an action, will use some scraps of fabric and wrap it
dim the nuts a bit?
Dial it down.
All right, we'll dial it down a bit.
Oh my
There we go.
god. He put
It's
a
been
glove
dimmed.
on it.
There's still about 30 jokes to make.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We need a poem about the nut joke.
that's right.
Oh God, please no.
Make Eric read a poem about nuts.
We know that. Mr. Mannix.
Yeah, I've got literally nothing I can do, I think. I'm not going on that smoke. I will begin the process of casting Detect Magic as a ritual.
Okay.
It's a 10-minute
6
ritual.
seconds into it.
That's right.
It says one word.
Yep.
Colette.
Yeah.
Do wait like 60
Oops,
turns.
that's the wrong
before you're
spell.
done.
Yeah. 60 turns later.
Two hits. As you bring your blade in and stab at it, it shrieks out suddenly and says, in common, like very broken common, "No, no kill."
I'll hesitate for half a second.
Please,
Why?
no kill.
Bring the smoke down.
It visibly seems to shake. Smoke everywhere. Just play and smoke.
You control smoke.
Little smoke.
Keep smoke from fading.
You like smoke?
No. Smoke bad.
He looks crestfallen, but also very damaged.
No
We
smoke.
just let him loose
face.
in the place.
Mm-hmm. You behave.
It nods very quickly.
How many more?
Oh, no more.
How many more?
No more. Last folk.
I just look at Theron. You believe it?
I mean, they die pretty fast either way.
Yeah. Alright. Well, we have a new friend. Alright. Why were we coming down this tunnel? To see if...
To explore.
Yeah. What's in the tunnels?
Forge friendships.
Smoke.
Yeah. I just raise an eyebrow at the method. I don't say anything. I just look at it.
It tilts its head. Smoke.
Oh god.
So you're telling us there's nothing else in these tunnels but you two.
And smoke.
Well, you.
Smoke.
Uh,
You smoke?
Alright.
I'm tired of talking to you.
I'll
This is that
continue
stupid
down the
plant all
tunnel.
over again. You regret conversing with it.
yeah.
Is there anything of note down here?
It
but
looks
this
like a complete dead end of caves just filled to the brim with
Fantastic.
smoke everywhere.
What a great use of our time.
Alright.
I'll look at the method and tell it can keep this space. You can keep smoke, but it stays in smoke. It comes out, it dies.
Smoke.
Smoke?
Smoke.
Smoke, smoke. Smoke, 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 smoke. Smoke, smoke. Smoke, 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 smoke.
It's broken glass.
I'll look at it and go, shoot.
It nods and seems to fly and disappear into the smoke.
Alright. I relay that information and say the only way forward is going down one of these tracks. Gillian was right all along.
Alright, with that, why don't we take a break, which means I need to read another poem. One of our character poems this time. This is George the Lawful Good Lunatic by Jason Scott. A lawful good character is often thought quite square, preaching like a minister and always playing fair. To disprove this false notion, there is a half-shelled hero, a sword-swinging terrapin whose common sense is zero. Giorgiano of the Jungle is a fine turtle man-at-arms, but tends to alignment bungle with his unusual charms. While most lawful good types might preach and practice mercy, George is full of gripes and rather lacking pity. He keeps a death list handy, so he can closely track whichever new enemy he will want to slash and hack. When diplomacy is needed, George will throw that away. Peaceful talk will go unheeded because grung have to pay. In one hand he has a whip sword, a shell sword is in the other, both fashioned from a grisly horde of parts culled from slaughter. Any beast, whether small or great, whether grotesque or cuddly, George will eviscerate to make his weaponry. He's a crazy bastard, Hugh asserts, and I have the scars to prove it. Theron's friends all have quirks, but that George is psychotic. George is indeed an odd specimen. There is no other of his type, a lawful good champion who avenges every slight. Yet, while he is a lunatic, I'd have him no other way. He keeps things from being static, and his exploits liven my day. So here's to George the Ninja Turtle. May his quiver be ever full. May he to legend hurtle, and may his blades never dull.
Yay!
I like it.
Very
Excellent
good.
work. All right, we're on break. We're back.
George is considerably happier about that poem.
That's right.
Mhm. Shall go down in history books.
That's right.
coming back from our break time as you all emerge from the smoke-filled caves back into the lava-filled caves.
So, productive excursion there, guys. Yeah?
Yeah, well, we found out what was in there.
Lots of smoke. And more smoke.
That's about it.
All right.
Thanks for the backup.
I wasn't going to choke on smoke. I heard Colette coughing. That's never a good sign.
Yeah, so I guess the only way forward is
One
either
of
just
these.
leave completely or
Yeah.
sound the alarm. That will be able to sneak past all these guards.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Or will we?
You still well, do you still have pass that trace on? I guess you didn't take any.
Yeah, he didn't. How long does it last?
An hour.
Nice. Gillian still technically
I mean,
has
hell.
enhance ability too.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a... Oh, never mind. Yeah.
As long as we're all close to you, we could just try to run across that bridge all at once.
Stealth our way across the
And
open
help
bridge.
help the pass without trace just solves all the problems.
Just like belly crawl all across, blending
There
with
you
the
go.
rails.
I'll send the owl up a little bit just to do a little, like just hopping along the railroad track, do a little bit of recon. Oh, well,
Yeah.
So you spot
If only had a minecart.
a similar situation here where the minecart bridge extends 10 feet over this roiling river of magma. And from you can tell pretty close by to the east is a similar mounted guard on a beast on a rampart that's raised where it's basically level with the bridge. It's just looking around attentively.
Okay, I got an idea, maybe. Well, what's the range on this? 60 feet. Well, now this is a bad idea. I've got this scroll of whole person. Well, I forget where we got it a couple sessions ago. But if I paralyze him and then we all stealth across the bridge, as soon as he's not paralyzed anymore, he's sounding an alarm. We're not actually tricking him at that point.
We tricked you with this paralyzation.
That's right.
How about if we just send one of these decrepit-looking dwarves across? I mean, he's not alarming enough to sound an alarm. Like, what fool would sound an alarm for a decrepit-looking dwarf? And we'll just lure him back this way,
Yeah.
right?
Or we could use one of the dwarves to go down one of the other bridges. Maybe that'll draw the attention of the guards on a different bridge, and we can cross. Putting that dwarf's life in danger.
Well, I mean, there's guards posted everywhere.
There are, yeah.
No, we gotta draw them out one by one. So we'll just send one dwarf halfway across the bridge, like crawling, and make him look even more pitiful. Well, he's already pitiful looking. Never mind.
George really doesn't like these dwarves.
It doesn't.
And then we'll just see what happens. I mean, what could they do? They'll either come to him, and maybe we can have the dwarf crawl back to us. They might throw a spear at him, but then
Surely he can evade that.
Yeah, I can evade that, right? What's the dwarf's evasion?
Does this plan sound good to you, dwarves? You want to lead one of the guards back to us?
Yeah.
We could go get the one that was just had as like profile. Steal his chicken.
Yeah.
I think it's a great plan, guys.
We're talking to the dwarves now. Like we're
Yeah, respond, dwarves.
What do you want them to do?
Yeah.
Lead.
Let's go, boys.
yeah, what
Yeah.
we've been talking about.
So,
Lead the war party.
Or I could go out there and just start swinging my thorn whip around and hopefully start drawing them into the lava.
Well, okay. If we're gonna lead one of them out anyway, then my paralyzed plan is back on the table. I can paralyze a person, a humanoid. I think these are humanoids. Do I think these are humanoids? Can I roll some sort of check as I look at this through owl eyes to see if I think these newts are humanoid?
Yeah. Let's see. What can you roll? You can give me a history or nature check.
Okay.
See what you know about these creatures.
Pretty decent history. 16.
Okay. You know that fire newts are considered humanoids. They are intelligent. They're obviously sentient like humanoids. They love their fire. You don't recall them being particularly powerful in a singular, but in a group they can be stronger. But you do know that some of them are capable of casting spells and using fire.
Lots of fire. Fire everywhere.
Fire everywhere.
All right. New plan. I'm just going to walk up and paralyze this dude. And then we have a few seconds to run up and murder him as quickly as possible.
Wait, which dude?
The guard on this bridge. Well, I guess actually, is this the best one? This guard has like a 10-foot gap between the bridge and him. Is the gap here level from the railing to the rampart that he's on?
Yes. Yeah. All this
So we can just hop over that.
is that's all level and it's all 10 feet above the river.
Okay.
of lava.
Of lava. So don't fuck up that jump.
What?
All right.
I don't have it. We're not going to stealth past these guys. Our best option is to kill one before it can sound an alarm.
Well,
Here's
how about
my
we go to the other side then and at least try to release that other dwarf?
Yeah, we could do that. How long does my paralyze? Well, I guess my paralyze though, he has a turn. He can re-roll his roll every turn. So we only have a very limited amount of time before they come out of the station.
All right. Here's what we're gonna do, guys. I'm just gonna stuff around the corner, hook one of the guards, and throw him in the lava, and then we'll just go around each opening and hook them all in the lava. How about that?
Well, they live in the lava, so it's not going to stop them.
Oh.
It's like just throwing them in a water, I guess.
They live near the lava.
Yeah.
Whoa! I apparently knew that.
George, you did know that. You would know that they like swim and breed and live all around lava. They seem to have
Again, around or in?
you're pretty sure, and from what the dwarves have told you, that they can walk in and out of lava without any problems.
Great. Maybe we just drown them
In regular water? Maybe.
in the lava.
Oh, yeah. Maybe they don't breathe lava.
Only one way to
George.
find out, guys.
With a 21, George would also recall that fire newts can in fact breathe underwater and liquids.
Wow, George, you know an awful lot about fire.
He's just shutting down all this stuff as he talks.
Well, it was my major.
In Ninja Turtle school,
Yeah.
I majored in fire newts.
I think
It's a real shame because the grung would have been much more useful to learn about.
That's right, as it turns out.
Uh,
I mean, he's right there. Like I'm positive. kill him and his thing.
Okay.
Paralyzation
I don't know
ends
how we're gonna
in
jump across.
You can one shot kill him.
one turn. I'll paralyze him, and we'll have a full turn before he can actually re-roll the check.
Let me tell you about the bird he's riding.
It's
He
a
proceeds to tell us about
featherless-
fire newts.
Yeah. You just make up a story about dinosaurs.
It's not a dinosaur, it's a featherless chicken.
A featherless chicken.
Look, I like my idea of just sending one dwarf out, and they'll come by.
You don't think that'll set off the alarm of the whole place, though?
No. Why
Well-
would they set an alarm for a useless dwarf?
Why don't we do both ideas and see which one's better?
All right. Let's send a dwarf out, and when the fire nuke comes out to get him, then I'll paralyze him, and we can murder him.
Then we're just
Then
down a
I'll-
dwarf.
Well, hopefully the dwarf doesn't die.
Or captured, whichever.
I'm lowering all of your collective alignments so hard.
And then when the fire nuke comes over, I'll whip him and bring him to us, and then we'll just wail on him.
I just don't understand the subterfuge at this point. We don't really have any other options but to.
Right. We're not going to sneak past these guys. The only thing we're trying to do at this point is kill one of the guards before he can set off an alarm. I think. Because there's no sneaking past the guards to get into this place at this point.
Do you not have like a charm or sleep or something?
I don't.
Mr. Wizard.
Is it only?
I only recently started
There's-
wizarding.
There's two of you.
Is
It's my first day.
Is it only one guard out there that we can see?
There's one guard. He's riding one of the chickens.
All right. Well, I'll just cast darkness on the chicken, and we just run across.
I have a better plan.
I like that plan.
I'm gonna
Let's do
run. I'm gonna run out to the bridge and just start yelling, "Intruders! Intruders!" And they'd be so confused.
Okay.
I'd send the alarm
You've
off
had that
first.
plan many, many times. It's never worked.
Mm-mm.
Paralyze them,
Plan of...
do the darkness, and let's roll.
Alright, I'm down.
Okay. I'll muscle my way in front of this dwarf.
Is this bridge wide enough that we can at least get two by two down it, or is it literally single file?
It looks like you would be very nervous going 2 by 2 abreast.
Okay. Well, we may need to let people just shove past then when this all goes down.
It's just the one, right?
There's just one, yeah.
All right.
Alright, so class, we're gonna sync our magics and do them at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
You need to
Begin
hold
melding
hands.
procedure.
I don't actually have the whole person spell in my thing. It's a scroll.
It's like, wait, hold on.
I don't actually know how to whole person. Sorry.
I've got mine.
And you never will.
There we go.
Your spell's much less impressive looking.
It's not official.
Alright, so you're both casting
Alright,
these at the
never-
same time.
You never told us he had to make a saving throw.
Well, he's gonna roll a six.
He's waiting all night to whip that card out.
Mhm.
You know what I did? Before the break, I went through and made little post-its for all of my one-time use items, so I don't forget I have them. That's why I knew I had a whole person. I just made a little post-it for that.
Nice.
So I'm using the hold person post-it. And I'm using the 6 post-it.
Thank you. Well done. Alright. So you read your spell scroll. It doesn't require any kind of a skill check to use a spell scroll?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't remember.
Maybe. Scrolls happen so rarely. Let's see. The spell is on your class's spell list, but of a higher level than you can normally cast, which I guess is technically true. You must make an ability check using your spell casting ability to determine whether you cast it successfully. The DC equals 10 plus the spell's level. So I have to roll a 13.
Well, person's at 3rd level.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's do it. I have a +6. Oh, no, that's actually saving throw. This is just a check, isn't
Just
it?
basically just intelligence, yeah. Well, intelligence plus proficiency, I think, right? Is that spellcasting ability?
Oh, you're right. It is. So that would be plus. What is my proficiency?
That's not right.
3. So it's a. I'll just roll it manually. D20 plus 6. All right. As I try to cast this spell. God damn it. Do I have inspiration? No, I don't. Does the spell... Oh, God damn it. The spell just disappears from the scroll with no other effect. Well, okay, hold on.
But with the darkness, Manix is convinced his spell went off.
If that's the case, so I have to cast the spell first, and then he has to make a saving
Right,
throw.
you still
If I
have
don't
your
cast the
6.
Spell, he's not making a saving throw. I'm keeping
Right.
my 6.
You can keep the 6. Alright, so this happens at the same time. Manix reads the scroll very confidently as Celeste points and darkness envelops. And darkness envelops at the same time as Manix thinks he got his spell off correctly, but you don't quite see what happens. Alright, darkness spreads from a point. You choose in range to fill a 15-foot radius sphere for the duration.
Yep. So it's a 30-foot diameter sphere, and
I should have cast on him.
Might have helped.
the point that I'm going to choose will be like the little saddle horn on the dinosaur. I'm assuming there's like a saddle horn thing that they use. That's the point that I'm going to choose to have the darkness on. So that way it's a 15-foot radius out from that point.
Okay.
So it's going to envelop the dinosaur and him.
So that,
And
can you see that?
yeah, I can see that. It's in complete utter darkness. He
Okay.
cannot
Wait.
see through it.
Does dark vision pierce this darkness?
No.
So, what problem with this plan we've made up? How are we gonna attack him?
I thought we weren't attacked. We're just going across. We're using
Well,
this thing
okay,
across.
yeah, let's just run across. Sure, why
Yeah.
not?
Alright,
This
so
is
you
just
see...
like a
He'll
beeline.
never know what happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you see that whole zone envelop into darkness. I'll give you guys a chance to react immediately once Kaless and Manix have performed their spells, some better than others.
That's right. All right, I will very carefully.
However, now part of the
Ow,
bridge is
my
enveloped in darkness as well.
So maybe I
Just run straight.
Yeah, I'll just. I mean, there's railings. There's track railings, so I'll keep my feet between the two metal tracks of the minecart rails to make sure I'm on track.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll very slowly, or not slow. I mean, we're trying to run across, but very methodically, one foot in front of another,
Yeah.
step across this track.
That's what I'm going to tell everyone. I'm just going to keep pushing everybody behind you. Like, go, beat, metal.
Go, go,
Don't get
go,
off.
go!
Go.
People jumping out of the back of a plane.
Yeah. Alright, so you're not trying to stealth, you're just trying to rush?
Yeah.
Well,
Stealthily rushing.
yeah. I mean, I'll make a stealth check to just quiet, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah. Just,
Not make
Stealthily
a ton of
rushing.
noise.
it's basically like one right after the other, so that way we're still within Theron's
Okay.
radius
Yeah,
for his
yeah.
passive outrage. So that way we can be quiet.
Okay.
Quiet-ish. Hopefully, him being blind.
Yeah, all of you can just make a group check, so you just all make a stealth check
okay.
here. And then you need over half of you to succeed. But you do still have pass without trace on. So as you cross, you look to your west and you see another guard who's similarly like kind of scanning the area. And obviously this zone of darkness, while effective, is also kind of attention grabbing in of itself.
Well,
Ooh, look at
it
those
looks
stealth
like
rolls.
we all basically passed. So as soon as we get around the corner from being able to be seen, I turn the darkness off completely.
Maybe he'll think you just had a bout of blindness.
Yeah. He was just blinking really hard.
Alright, let's move everybody to the other side.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so you turn off the darkness right when you make it across, and you immediately hear certainly some sounds coming in that in a very strange language as it comes down, like yelling sounds, and you hear another guard yelling kind of behind you, but that's all that's happening right now. There's no alarms being said, but certainly some concerns being drawn. But for now, you guys are in this tunnel, and you definitely felt the heat very, very sharply as you cross over this magma river. And see the tunnel continue on to your west. You can hear that hammering sound, that rhythmic echoing hammering sound is much louder here. And you think you hear multiple voices just kind of muffled through the cave walls.
Mm. Oh. Look at about that far and stop.
I stop.
We all stop. Dead in our tracks.
Yeah, around the corner you can see what looks like the entrance to a smelter. You can see even more heat and smoke rising from this area, and the banging of hammers, the clashing of metal together, the blowing of bellows. What a bellows does. Steam hissing from pools of water, like all these very much these forge sound effects and visuals happening that you can hear and just catch very small glimpses of. And you see what look like several more of these weird fire red looking lizard creatures that you know as fire newts. You see a couple of them what look like kind of standing guard. They're wielding they've got armor on. They're wearing like armored looks like chainmail, and they have a shield, and they have a sword that is all glowing red hot. And they're just kind of standing there looking bored, but just recently you notice they've started looking a bit more anxious as you hear the guards outside kind of making a bit of a alarming ruckus about what just happened with the other guards' vision.
I think our stealth time is pretty much over.
Well, let's see if they
go
leave
forward.
their post.
Yeah. Maybe they will. Just watch them for a little while.
We'll watch from the darkness.
You see, you hear a lot of that voices that you don't understand. It sounds kind of actually similar to the, I guess Celeste and Theron recognize what the Mephit's voice initially. That weird language. It sounds like fire and smoke and brimstone, talking back and forth. And eventually this one like walks over and seems to have a conversation. This one just kind of stands there and looks bored. Finally, you notice one of them walking into your tunnel.
Walking where?
Walking towards you.
Oh. Hi!
I'll give you all a chance to react because you've been kind of watching this unfold.
I mean, attack.
All right. Who has invisibility?
Yeah, that's right. We have a group invisibility, right?
I can hide it in shadows.
I I mean, we got the drop on this guy. Let's try to just take him out before he can.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
alert
this
his
is your
brother.
chance to tell me
Yeah.
what you want to do before he immediately reacts.
I mean, if we, I think we got the drop on him. I think we just attack him. Let's go.
Okay.
Alright.
I'll take out my hand crossbow and aim a shot at his head.
I can't see
Wait.
him. Can I move forward to see him?
Probably gonna need to.
Like, I
a
gotta
very
like
packed
hop
tunnel.
over some dwarves.
That's right. Dwarves aren't very tall.
I've got my thorn whip out. I can try to pull him towards us.
Yeah.
All right,
Do that.
dwarf, move out of my
Yeah,
way.
you tell me. I won't put you guys in combat yet, but you want to tell me how you want to do it, then go for it.
Yeah. You guys push forward, push the dwarves back a little bit. Probably more effective than they are.
Hit him on the head and knock him unconscious.
Take his skin.
Stabbing
Alright.
repeatedly.
Where is Mannix? Is he under the owl?
I'm under the
Yeah.
owls. Yes.
Okay.
He's physically been
Man,
walking around with this
is the
owl,
owl.
like, looking out of his... Yeah. I imagine there's just a big trench coat with an owl head right there.
Like two kids dressed up as an adult. That's an owl head. Hello, sir.
So one point, whenever he turns to ask Mannix a question, this owl just stares at you.
The body doesn't turn, the owl head just turns
Yep.
180.
It's unsettling.
Can I help you?
All right, from here I can reach him with my thorn whip. 30 feet.
Do it, George.
You go first, and we'll just follow behind.
George instinctively reacts.
Well, 25.
Indeed, sir.
I hit for 5, bring him 10 feet closer.
Alright, you whip out that thorn whip and drag him close. You can...
I'm gonna use my mage hand to try to cover his mouth, like somebody like muffling a dude in a hallway.
I like that a lot. We need to get used like some chloroform or something. That'd be a fantastic
That's
thing.
right.
Mage
Chloroform
hand.
mage hand. Go to sleep.
Nobody thought of that before. Alright, I'll let
Yeah,
you do
I'm
that.
trying-
What does
I'm trying
anybody else want to
physically
do?
Keep him
Yeah.
quiet. Yeah.
You keep him muffled.
I'm ready to knock him unconscious with my shillelagh
Go for it.
quarterstaff.
I'm ready to run him through with my rapier.
Go for it. Do it all. We're not in combat. Do it.
I have to get up close. Oh,
Yeah, you
Jesus,
probably have to
this
run
stuff
up,
has
yeah.
a little tongue. Gross.
Yeah.
What is he? What
Do I
is
have?
kind of
Let's see if I have a handout for him. I do.
So,
He
I
just
just
looks like
feel
a big
like a
orange
orange-
blob.
Orange blob, yeah.
yeah. So with all
Yeah.
of this happening, he would be fairly surprised, right?
He is fairly surprised, yes. You could say that.
There's a
He's-
moderate level of surprise.
You could also say he's about to have a very bad day.
Because that means my assassinate fully goes off at this point. for, like,
Fully.
the first time ever.
Fully cocked assassination.
Let me see one of those eye sockets.
Did I hit him with the 16?
16 will hit.
Okay, so now that becomes a crit. Just so you know, so I'm gonna have to reroll the damage die again. Any
His
hit I
eyes.
score against a creature that is surprised as a critical hit.
His eyes go wide as first the thorn whip comes out and hits him and drags him closer. He gives a tiny yelp. And then Theron walks up and bonks it across the face. The yelp is muffled as the Mannix mage hand comes and covers his face. And then his eyes go wide and pleading as Kaless comes in.
Just behind a hand, his eyes just bullet. Don't kill me.
Tell
Too
my
late.
wife.
Do I need to reroll the dice?
No. He's
It's just like getting closer to the knife. I have so many regrets.
First of all, going down this hallway. He gurgles and dies and chokes on the blood quietly.
I'm going to capture his shadow.
Yeah!
He is having the worst. Maybe in death I'll have a respite. No, you won't.
My last dying wish, please don't capture my shadow. That's a severe insult to my people.
I don't get to go to heaven.
You need your shit. He is a thoroughly disgraced fire newt. Alright, you all do this, and then Killian just walks forward and reaches down. Describe how you do this exactly.
Shank Song pulling his soul.
Yeah. Ripping
I'm
soul.
picturing. I picture more like a Dementor situation where
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah, I like that.
You're just
starts,
coming
like,
into
sucking
you.
it, basically just absorbing it. I haven't actually used his likeness yet. So far, I've just captured it.
That's right.
To do with it
It's
as I
just in me.
please. His body actually turns like ashen gray after you do that.
No, no.
What god would want you now?
Your soul is mine.
You know what, though? I am going to actually use the shadow as an action. I feel like now would probably be the time to do that. So I'll go ahead and put on the disguise so I look like this thing, the
That's
blob.
not even more unsettling. Like, you literally are pulling his soul out. As you do, you're turning into a fire newt.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's going to last for 1 hour.
You gain
And I
access
have
to
access to all information that he would freely share with a casual acquaintance, but not like secrets.
a casual acquaintance.
Not secrets. You don't get to know the type of pornography he's into, but, but like general coworker conversation, sure.
he likes to binge watch The Office.
That's right.
And now I just know all about like his wife and his kids.
he
Her
was
name
making
was Lisa.
minimum wage. Just trying to get his kids in this college, working at the smelter.
It's his
Private
kid.
school's
It's his
not
kid's
cheap.
birthday today.
We find a
You guys
little
stopped
wrapped
at the toy store on the way
present
home.
in his pocket.
Ah, monsters.
We never said we were good people.
That is the
Yeah,
motto
that's
of this
right.
party,
None
I
of
think.
us.
Other
That's your
than those
catchphrase.
of us who are lawful good, we never say that.
Other than that character creation, we never said we were good people. Gillian, you would know that there are a lot of these folks that work around this smelter area. You would know that he has not been blessed by Imix, so he did not have spellcasting capabilities.
No, what I didn't see is, does he know the language? Or like,
That's a
does
good
he know the
question.
language now?
It says you gain access to all the information that the humanoid would freely share with a casual acquaintance. You can pass yourself off as the person by drawing on its memories. Now we have to Google search this. What part of the
Literally,
brain does language...
As I typed in Mantle of Whispers in Google, language, Mantle of Whispers language, results.
That
Yeah,
is...
it's kind of a big problem if you can't.
I want to see you roleplay the hell out of trying to communicate.
Well, you did the Google search. What was the result?
Nothing so far. So apparently, this was part of playtest material at one point. There's a lot of people saying like this is still playtest material, so I don't have an actual.
It wasn't
anything
Xanathar's, I
official.
think, so it should be approved.
It
now.
was later, I guess. I don't know quite yet.
It's
Nobody else is
DM at this point.
seemingly
right, yeah.
noticed. Yeah, I would probably say that you might know some words or phrases but you would not be fluent.
The words that were like primary in his mind at the time.
Yeah, probably.
Children, fatherhood.
That's right.
I don't want to die.
Being a good person.
I don't want to die. That's all she can.
He donates half his paycheck to the orphans.
Not no more.
His one wish in life was that no one would capture his shadow. Just oddly specific.
When I die, sweetheart, just make sure no one takes my shadow. That's all.
All right. I can't think
I
of
see
a...
no official ruling on this, so
Okay. Well, we're going to figure that out for next time, because I think we've reached a good stopping point here, as you all have managed to get into the tunnels near the smelter, defeated your first fire newt, and captured a shadow. And I'm looking forward to see where that goes from there. So thank you to Chris, Heather, Rochelle, Raymond, and Reese for playing. Thank you to our wonderful fans for watching. Go to roguewatson.com for recaps, patreon.com/roguewatson if you'd like to support the channel. We're live streaming our D&D adventures every week. We will see you next time.
bye.
Outro, there's my outro.
Do you hear the music now?
I do. I don't know why. Was there battle music? Did you hear any of that?
No, I didn't have
we
battle.
were only in battle for a half second here.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I don't know why I didn't hear it when I started. So I do have. I was trying to figure this out when we were talking about the language stuff. I do have like a scroll of comprehend languages, so I can at least
Ah,
use
yeah.
that if I needed to, but it doesn't let you.
Oh, you got your tongues charm too. You can use that.
I have a tongues charm.
Don't you? I think
Oh,
you
right.
can use
The charm you got from the snake person.
it. Yeah.
Snake creature.
I think you still have some charges on that. You can use that to converse.